All right, everybody, welcome into the introduction segment of the course. If this is the first video that you're clicking into, you're in the right place. This is where I want you to be. This is where I want you to start from. This is Film History 1945 to present. I'm your instructor. I'll be with you for the full summer session here. And my name is Michael Dermody, and there's so many Michaels around. There's two in our two-person department, and we're both named Michael. So most people just call me Derm or Dermody. You're welcome to do whatever you're comfortable with. There's my email address. It's on the syllabi. It's plastered throughout Canvas. That's the best way to get a hold of me. As you know, nobody's on campus over the summer. So the office phones aren't working. Just send me an email if you get stuck. And a good rule of thumb here is be proactive. Let me know sooner rather than later if you're having a problem. One thing I want to point out here to you is that probably the biggest challenge that you're going to have in this class is the schedule. And it's not anything that you can't handle if you plan for it. And by that, here's what I mean. The summer session moves twice as fast as a regular semester. And that's because I don't reduce the content from a normal semester into the summer session. It's exactly the same content, and you need to do the exact same amount of work as you would do in a normal semester. And the way that I have this broken up is for a normal semester. So in a normal semester, we have 16 weeks. In our summer session, we have 8 weeks. So in a normal semester, you would have 7 days to complete a module. And I have to cut that in half in here. So you have modules that will be due on a Tuesday night at 5 p.m. and a Friday night at 5 p.m. And here's the deal about the way the semester works and the way I work is once we move past that module, once that deadline moves past either Tuesday or Friday at 5 p.m., the module is closed and you cannot take the quiz or post in the discussion board past 5:01 on Tuesday or Friday. And that's the biggest thing. So this is a course that you'll find relatively smooth to get through if you have some self-discipline and build time to watch each film and work through each module. That said, let's take a look at the things that we're going to look at in here. I've broken down the key ingredients to making a film into these 5 categories: the director, writer, cinematographer, actors, editors, sound designers. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can tackle film history. I choose to take the production approach, how it's being built. And I think once you know what these categories are, we're going to see it from the beginning up into present. You're going to be able to determine and really look at how cinematography has progressed over this time frame, and then certainly the narratives, the stories that filmmakers choose to tell now are very different than they were in the 40s. That said, we don't talk a lot about me in the course, but let me give you a thumbnail on who I am. I've been in what we call agency production, so commercial production, corporate production, for 35 plus years. I've been a film and TV professor for over 15. I have a bachelor's degree in communication with a concentration in TV film. I have a master's of science in communication, concentration TV and film. And then I have what we call a master's of fine art, an MFA in digital cinema. And the MFA is what we call a terminal degree. So it's comparable to a PhD. For us in the arts, this is the last degree that we can get. So I can't go to school anymore. And that means the only option I have left is to teach in school. But here's what I want you to know is that I actually still am an active producer-director. have clients, and I do work in the real world. And I think that matters in all my classes because I still have a good handle on what the world of production looks like. And then the thing that I want you to know is that I teach because I want to, not because I have to. I probably could have made a lot more money over my career if I would have stayed in the private sector, but I absolutely enjoy teaching, and this is where I belong full time. So that's my my resume, and how did I get started? So brilliant academic career. It wasn't always that way, and I'm pretty upfront about that. I was a C- high school student. I hated school. To me, it wasn't relevant. I couldn't even test into my local state college. I failed that. They wouldn't let me in. I left high school early. And then over about 4, 5, 6 years, I kept trying to take night classes at our junior college and continued to fail out of those. So how do I get from that to all these degrees later in life? For me, it just took one class. I didn't give up. I kept taking night classes. And I finally stumbled into this TV production class, which is one of the courses that I teach to this day. But for me, everything about it was brand new. And for me, all kinds of light bulbs started going off. It was time-based, it was visual, it had an audio component. There were all kinds of things that I was really good at. And I didn't know that they had classes or that they studied this kind of stuff in school. But once I took that class, I knew what I was going to do for the rest of my life, and I have. There hasn't been a job or a day that I haven't worked in some part of video or film production. So I share that with people because a lot of people that start and stop here at the junior college before they really find what they want, I want you to know that I was one of those people. And my message is don't give up. Hang in there, be persistent. There's something out there that's going to click for you, I promise you. Keep hanging in there, keep doing the work. It'll pay off. So what I want you to do, that's it for me. It's about all that we're going to talk about me the whole semester. The rest of it's going to be about film. I want you to look around here in Canvas. I have these pages kind of set up sequentially, so that's the best way to work through it. I want you to move on to the next page. I think we go through the syllabus there, and then there's one on points calculation. I want you to download the syllabi and the textbook. However, they will be available to you 24/7 for the next 8 weeks. All right. Once you finish the course intro, you need to get through the rest of this course intro module and then move right into module 1. Both these are due this Tuesday night, June 16th. And as you're going to come to hear ad nauseum, after 5 p.m. on Tuesday, the module closes. And you want to make sure that you do this module 1 and module 2. Module 2 will be due on Friday at 5 because these are bonus points. So it's an opportunity for you to hop in, figure out how I ask questions, how a module works. And once we get through these 2 modules and we start doing real modules that count for points, I go back in. And if you've at least posted in the discussion board and taken the quiz, regardless of what your score is, I'm going to give you full credit, 50 points for module 1 and 2. And that is your bank of bonus points for the whole semester. Trust me, you want them. You'll use them. If something does happen where you can't meet a deadline, you will have 2 of these modules banked. So you want to get through 1 and 2, and you do not want to miss the deadline this week on Tuesday or Friday. All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, there is a number for Canvas. You want to use that number. They're really good. I use it as an instructor as I build things that get stuck. I believe they're there 24/7 for us. You want to use them if it's a technical issue that you're having. So I probably can't help you if you can't open a file and you don't know why. All right, that probably has something to do with Canvas and the technical side. If you have questions about content, how the course content is going to work, then that's me. Then you send me an email. And then towards the end of this module, if you haven't taken a Canvas class, there's some good modules about how what we call Canvas is an LMS, a learning management system, how the LMS works. So if you haven't done it, click through those. There is a required textbook for the course, but it's free. All right. I found a textbook that you're going to be able to download. Everything comes from there. There'll be links throughout the modules on that. How do you get your movies? The way that this is built is through Netflix. So you want to subscribe to Netflix if you don't have another source. I don't really care where you find the films, but all the films will reside in Netflix. But cautionary note, only in the DVD section. All right. So what we're looking at is historical films, and they don't put those in the streaming section of Netflix. So you have to sign up for Netflix, and you have to activate the DVD section and put all the films into your queue. I show you how to do that further on. That way the DVDs will be sent to your house 2 during a week, and it matches up with our semester work pretty well. But you need to do that right away so that you have the films for next week and then the next 7 weeks. All right. That said, I'm really glad you chose to be here. We're just finishing up this crazy semester with the virus. I know that everybody's been affected by it. So the fact that you've come into this class, it means a lot. I'm glad you're here. And the thing that you should know is that this is not a course that we just threw together at the last minute because we got kicked off campus. I've been teaching this course and teaching it here on Canvas for a couple of years now. And while I improve it after each semester, the basics of the course are pretty solid. So everything's laid out. Once you understand how the process works, that doesn't change, and you're going to be able to get through this pretty well. So that said, I want you to move on to the next page and work through that material, like I said, and get through module 1 before Tuesday at 5. All right, welcome aboard. Cheers.